I'm Chris from Reilly Cycleworks, and we're here at King's Cup Gravel with our brand new gravel bike. This is the Reflex. The Reflex is an evolution of our best-selling gravel bike, the Gradient's. So the Gradient's gone through various incarnations. The classic Gradient, the Gradient T47, and now the Reflex. So what this inherits from the Gradient T47 is the T47 bottom bracket, which had allowed us to do semi-internal cable routing on the T47. What the Reflex gets is full internal cable routing. So this shares the aspects of the Fusion Aero road bike, where we have effectively investment cast, use a very traditional form of casting to cast the head tube, the bottom bracket, the dropouts and the seat cluster. This is a first prototype, so the only variant that we'll see in the production model is that this will be a cast piece which will do away and sort of give us a more refined look around this seat cluster. So as I say, this has full internal cable routing through the bars. You can route dynamo routing right the way through, up the fork leg, through the frame, and it will pop out the back, so you've got no cables showing at all. It's TIG welded and then linished back, so effectively you'll have a similar piece here.
Okay.
But this stay routing allows us to route cables through the rear stays, which is why you've got the exit point for a dynamo like there. What we were conscious of with the Gradient T47 was that if you wanted to go wider in the tyre, you had to drop down to a 650B. What we've done here is push the tyre capacity, so on a 700C you can run up to a 55mm tyre. So we should have these in November time, production models of these. Frame sets go for 3999, full builds from 71.
How popular is gravel as a category for you compared to road?
It's about 70% of all sales. So, you know, we've got the Fusion, we've got the T325 and the 640 as road bikes, but really, I mean, Mark, as a frame designer, frame builder, really lighted upon gravel at, you know, pre-gravel really. He was focused on the adventure market, and his geometry for the Gradient is spot on. So the Reflex, the Gradient T47 share his frame geometry.
And you've got two bikes being raced here today?
So actually we've got 4 bikes being raced here. So Isaac's riding the Reflex, Peter Wiltshire is riding the Gradient T47, Darren from Strada is riding a Gradient T47 as well, and Vic Haynes is riding a standard Gradient, all in their varying categories, and I wish them best of luck today at King's Cup Gravel.
I'm Isaac, a mechanic from Reilly. Today I'm racing the King's Cup Gravel National Championships on the new Reilly Reflex gravel bike. It's unreleased yet. It's currently running a 44 tooth chainring up top, 170 cranks with a 1036 cassette. As it's pretty flat today, so it's trying to keep as much speed as possible. Running a Pirelli Cinturato Gravel M's today in a 45 millimeters. Running them at about 27 front, 29 rear. I think that'll be a good mix. It's quite bumpy today, although it's fast, it's quite bumpy, so hopefully that'll work well.
What's the main thing you look for in a tyre choice for the course?
I think today volume is quite a good way to go. Kind of fast rolling, but increase the volume. So not too much tread to keep the bumps smoother with a higher volume and a lower pressure. But it's not actually that slippy. There's not too much technical stuff. So that's my thinking.
So narrow wasn't a question then, it was about 45?
45, yeah. Yeah, I think 45 is about right. Could have gone narrower, but I think the bike kind of looks better because it can fit 55mm tyres. So I think it kind of, if there's 38s in there, I think it would look a little bit less good.
Your gearing choice, you're going one bike, not two bikes, that personal preference, or?
Yeah, for this, you know your speed is going to be within 20 to 45k an hour. It's not going to get, that's your range, so you kind of work it out from that. 44 at the top, and then with a 4410 is a massive gear anyway. And then it's not kind of 36 at the back, so it's not a hilly course. If I need more gears, I'm doing something wrong. So yeah, that's the setup.
Any other cool quirks, or you got your hood kind of angled over a little bit? I know.
Look, there's a little flare to the bar, so I'll kind of match that. All in one piece bar, running a 110 stem, 115 stem, the kind of 40 bar kind of flaring out to a 40 43. So kind of good mix of aero and comfort and kind of technical nous.
I noticed you got one bottle cage.
One bottle cage.
Is that enough hydration?
Well, I might pick up a bottle
I see.
in the race, so start as light as possible. Obviously, weighed the bike yesterday with pedals, Wahoo, one bottle cage, and it came in about 9.3. So kind of trying to keep it down. If I add another bottle, that might creep up to 10 then. So that's the strategy.
I'm impressed with the number.
Yeah, get that nice and aero. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Petra Wiltshire and this is my Reilly Gradient T47. Basically, I'm an ex-mountain biker, so my setup is slightly different probably to a traditional gravel bike. I'm running obviously some Reilly componentry, so if we start at the handlebars, I've got the Reilly carbon handlebars. This is a first version of this. We've got quite a large drop here, so I do tend to run actually on the hoods most of the time. Being a mountain biker, I prefer to be up there rather than on the drops. Reilly's carbon forks, which we can actually alter the rake on. I run it on the slackest setting. And now I've got some of the new Strada wheels here. These are the ultra wide Gravel Plus Strada 700s with some Terravel cannonballs. They're the 700s by the 42 in the durable casing, just because here people are suffering from a few punctures, so we're going to try and run those today. Normally I would run 650B. I just prefer the way the bike handles with that, and being a mountain biker I like to be able to do more technical riding, and I would run normally an oversized tyre, something like a 54, maybe a Panaracer gravel tyre or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to try these today. And then I'm running SRAM Force, so I've got 170 cranks. I'm running typical mountain bike Crank Brothers egg beaters, just because it's easy to locate. If we've got a muddy race, they clear really well. I think I've got a 40 ring, I can't see from this side, on the front. SRAM Force and standard SRAM cassette on the back, quite a large span on that, and obviously force brakes. And I've got a Specialized Mimic women's saddle up top, and I think that's pretty much it. That's the bike.
How's the course for you? It looks fast.
Yeah, it's fast. I would prefer it to be a bit technical. Just like slightly more technical courses than this, I think it'll be a bit of a road race, slugfest.
And what's your approach to the race then?
Try and find a wheel to get on really, and just cling on. We'll see.
Well, good luck with the race.
All right, thank you very much.